Hey, so it is Wednesday, November 1st. Actually, that's a lie. It's Halloween and we're pre-filming this. But because of this, we're going to do a Top 5 Wednesday. And Halloween just ended and the Halloween season just ended. So we're going to do a Top 5 reasons we like Halloween.
For sure.
So I will let Amber start.
So coming in at number 5, we have atmosphere. And by that we mean the general kind of like sense and feeling you get as Halloween approaches, the general like kind of dark kind of concept that embodies the Halloween spirit.
Yeah, people decorating their houses, dark shows happening, you know, like that whole atmosphere that is created, I really like.
For sure.
Coming in at number 4 is dressing up. Like Amber's dressed up right now. I'm dressed up differently, I guess. But I've always enjoyed costumes, and I haven't necessarily always been the best at dressing up myself, but I love seeing what people do and the different creativity, and especially working at the theme park, I love to see how people dress up without dressing up,
right?
Because they have to like follow the theme park rules,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always appreciated that, like the sneaky ways to costume.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say now number 3 is the history of Halloween. So itself, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. It's Samhain, I believe. It's not
Samhain.
Samhain. So, you know, the American way of saying it, Samhain. But so all of it, once upon a time, began as a festival, kind of celebrating. I don't remember everything about this, but like it was a festival and it celebrated a lot of different things that were very important and religious. And now now it's a lot about candy and dressing up and all of that stuff. But I think it's very interesting that we went from something that was considered pagan or, you know, foreign, and have brought it, much like a lot of the other things from that same kind of culture and time period, into our popular holidays.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 is the communal or community nature of the celebration. This is especially apparent when I have a lot of guests from other countries. So the rest of the world does not Halloween like the U.S. does.
Not at all.
We are in it to win it. And I really like the sense of community. Like, everybody does Halloween. It's a big deal, especially in the Orlando area. That's just everywhere. But trick-or-treating, and everybody participates in trick-or-treating. There's parks, there's people dressing up, there's Halloween movie nights, there's haunted houses, there's all sorts of stuff, and everybody comes together to celebrate. And people build stuff at their houses and all sorts of stuff.
I would agree. Like today, the reason I am all decked out, in particular more than normal, is I was at work and we had a Halloween party at work. So there's a lot of places like that. Most workplaces nowadays, they have some kind of holiday celebration for Halloween. And I also just think it's great because yes, there's always going to be terrible things in the world, but like on Halloween, you come together generally as a community. You don't really hear of that many terrible things happening, except for today, which we won't get into. But generally on Halloween, not that many terrible things happen, and you kind of come together in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city, and celebrate together something where you hopefully can just get dressed up as something crazy and let go.
Yeah, that sort of freedom is really,
Yes.
really cool. And number 1, and this should be a surprise to literally no one, haunts.
Yes.
Haunted houses, haunted mazes, haunted woods, haunted anything.
Everything. Yeah.
Anything that I can physically walk into
Yes.
where things are trying to scare me, I'm there.
Yes.
And Halloween is the perfect time for that. And I've done several this year, and even some stranger ones that I didn't think I would do before. And it's just always a blast. Like, there's something about that adrenaline pump. And also, I'm not a scary movie person, but I love haunted houses, because in a haunted house, like, everything's real, which should make it scarier, but somehow makes it less scary. I don't know how to explain
I kind
that.
of get that. Well, for me, like for haunts, I haven't gone to as many necessarily this year or the past few years as I'd like to, but I think it's very interesting to see the different concepts that come forth. And I am very much an aesthetics kind of person. So seeing the different, like how the mazes or houses or etc. are set up and how their characters are costumed. And then also just the fact that literally anybody can do a haunt. Like, literally, I have friends who made them in their backyard, and they were just as much fun. And I don't really get scared easily. I like scary movies a bit more maybe than Mallory does, but I go through the houses, and I just enjoy watching how people react and feeling the different kinds of reactions and things like that as well.
literally the scariest haunt that I have been to since moving to Orlando was built in somebody's backyard, and they just filled it with so much fog that I couldn't see where I was going, and so the entire time I'm in the haunt like this, like, I don't know, I don't know where I'm going. It was great.
Those are the best.
So that's it for my Top 5 Wednesdays, which is our top 5 favorite things about Halloween, and I'll see you tomorrow.